Welcome in, everybody, to Scout's Eye on College Football for this Sunday morning as we kind of take a quick overview of what took place over the weekend yesterday in college football, kind of breaking through the games. Um, we want to remind you that you can get the detailed film room analysis of all these games, how all the players, teams, coaches, schemes played out over breaking down the film. We want to make sure that we provide that for you at all times. So you make sure that you head on over to LandryFootball.com. Take advantage of the football season sale, which is a year. It's the best deal that we have. Also, encourage you to maybe look at it for a month if that's what you want to do. Also, sign up for Landry Football Podcast channel. That'll get you all the information, all the shows that we do on college and pro football. That'll get you really involved in the game and see the game from a coaching and scouting perspective. Also encourage you to check out our good friends at Off the Hook Sports. I contribute to them. A big part of that, Dave Hooker, is just one of the absolute best. So make sure that you sign up for Off the Hook YouTube channel. That's where you can catch the show and watch me as I do it. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you an idea for those of you that are watching. Let me give you an idea of what I do. And I don't know if I'm going to do this, probably going to mess this up. But can you see that? That is, for those of you watching, 6 monitors there as I get back here and get my ugly mug back on. People ask me all the time what I do during the Saturday and Sundays. We have 6 games. I have 6 games on at one time. And I take a look, take notes, and obviously I have the other games taped while I'm watching those, as well as the ones that I'm watching being taped. So what I try to do, and so I haven't gone through the film yet, a little bit of film this morning on some, but what I like to do, and I don't know if I'll be able to do this every Sunday morning with the NFL and everything I've got going on and some of the shows that I do, I'd like to try to get a quick run through, give you a quick reaction to what happened yesterday. And as we get through Monday, I'm going to have a detailed breakdown, kind of a top 25 big picture college football with it'll be similar to this, but with more detail about what really happened as I see it. And I may go into detail on different topics. So that's kind of what we're going to try to do. And I wanted to give you an idea, kind of go through what I saw, what stood out to me. First of all, I want to start a little bit. Nice job by Florida State getting another win on Friday night. In the road against Louisville. It's always tough to win on the road. They did a very nice job. But and it's showing toughness and finishing is still an issue. Missing opportunities in the red zone, field goals. The game could have got away. I mean, the LSU and the Louisville game, they're wins. You take them. You don't apologize to anybody. But the coaching takeaway from that is, man, you're leaving teams in games where you shouldn't be doing it. You should be able to put it away. Georgia, South Carolina, folks, we told you about this. Georgia's really, really good. We know that. We'll get into detail a little bit more specifically in Landry football of why they're dominant, but you kind of know the drill. But here's the thing about South Carolina. This happens all the time. People will talk about things like Shane Beamer, man, look, he's got that thing rolling. And look, they won more games. Just because they were better last year than they have been maybe in the previous regime, that is the litmus test for most folks. Hey, better than it was before. Now, okay, you win a few games last year. Look out. He's going to take that next step. How many is going to win this year? 8 or 9? Hell no. Actually, that's what Shane Beamer said when somebody asked him if his team quit. Hey, hell no. His team didn't quit. They're not good. This is not a good football team. They got hammered by Arkansas, and we told you they would. They're going to hammer. Georgia was going to name that score whatever they wanted, and they did. This is not a good team. Credit them for beating some very mediocre teams in the East last year and becoming, at least semi-relevant. They're not good. They're just not a very good team. And Shane is a likable guy. The media loves him. He's a good kid. I like him. I've known his dad for years. He's first-time head coach. He's in over his head, but he's very positive. People love him. Most people in the media, most fans judge a coach by, okay, just the wins and losses. It doesn't matter how you get there. Because remember, you could stink and win a game. You can be really good and lose a game. But people look at it as just the result, and they don't understand what creates the result, right? And then they also, whether they like him or not in the press conference, he's likable. I like him. He's really nice. I do too. Doesn't make the team very good. You look at him. Charlotte's not very good. South Carolina State's not very good. They're going to win both games. I'm going to tell you, I looked at the tape. They got outplayed by Georgia Southern. They were fortunate to win it. I'm glad they did. Kentucky, they're going to hammer them. Texas A&M, not going to be a problem for South Carolina. Not going to be a problem for A&M against South Carolina. Now, Missouri, Vanderbilt, those are games you should win. You got to build your hat on. You got Georgia State done. You were very fortunate to win that. You got hammered by Arkansas and Georgia. You're going to win your second and third games against Charlotte and South Carolina State. Then I think you can win your fourth and fifth games against Missouri and Vanderbilt. And then, is Florida, who's struggling in the passing game, more on that in a bit, a challenge? Maybe, but probably not. You're a 5-win team. And look, it's fine. That's what they are. I expect them to win 5 games this year. I think they'll win 5. Maybe circumstances will cause them to only win 4 or maybe win 6. But they're going to win 7. You had people actually sing, "Look out in the summer. Look out, Georgia's got to go to Columbia." That could be who would think that with a half of a brain and a little bit of understanding of college football? No, of course not. Oklahoma dominated Nebraska. Folks, I expected Nebraska to come out and play hard and play well early. They did. Man, that was just knocked down a peg quite a bit. Boy, it's a mess. They got a long way to go. Notre Dame gets their first win. It wasn't easy. We told you, we thought over at Landry Football, we broke the game down as we break down all the games. Told you that was going to be a real likelihood that Notre Dame responds and they get it. UCLA, man, did they escape against Bowling Green. They did not play well at all, and they were very fortunate to win. BYU, said, be careful going on the road off of a big win, didn't we? Oregon won. That didn't surprise me. The beatdown did. Ole Miss, how good's Ole Miss? We won't know until they play Kentucky in 2 weeks. They've got Tulsa next week. They hammer Georgia Tech. That's going to be another coaching opening this year, I would think. Auburn, Penn State, disappointing. Auburn, no passing attack. Penn State drummed them. Penn State is, again, don't be fooled. Penn State is not that good. Auburn is really that bad offensively. Got a lot of credit, got a gift to Kansas. They're so impressive in what they have done. Lance Leipold, outstanding. They beat a Houston team, and what did we say it for those of you that are members of LandryFootball.com? For those of you that listen to the preview podcast, what did we say? We went into detail. Look, Houston's got more playmakers, but Houston's got Dana Holgerson, whose teams are not very disciplined. They don't play smart football, and Kansas does. And Kansas has a really good quarterback. Look out. Kansas is going to make a statement in this game. They did. Liberty, Wake Forest, and Purdue, Syracuse may be the two of the more exciting games yesterday. Purdue, Syracuse, slow moving offensively. Then it started to spurt out. Really good matchup. What a big time win. I got to tell you, Syracuse, Dino Babers, so far so good. Really, really nice start there for the Cuse. Purdue, very tough loss. They lost that game at the end, couldn't defend. Alabama rolls. LSU, Mississippi State. Look, we're going to get into more details of what happened schematically in the game on yesterday's show. Give you more details. Already have some thoughts. But what did we say and what have we said about Mike Leach's teams? Now, this Mississippi State team probably got one of their better teams. Defense was playing outstanding. They were running the football well. But Mike Leach gets out-coached. at least every bit as much as he outcoaches somebody. He's the Teflon coach. Everybody notices when he pulls an upset because he's always been at places where you're not supposed to win. But there are games in this case, I think that Mississippi State had every chance to win this game. They were completely outplayed. Lots of mistakes, tons of drop balls. They were outschooled. I'm going to go into the details of the schematics tomorrow's show. Make sure that you check that out. But absolutely, they schooled them on both sides of the ball. I actually thought Mississippi State's defense had a good game plan, but really what good adjustments that LSU's coaching staff offensively did. And defensively, LSU's coaching staff schooled Mike Leach again. How about Washington's broad against Michigan State? Did we call that? I mean, that would look like that was coming down the road. Mel Tucker's another one of those guys. Big contract. Everybody's great. React too quickly to it. It's a good coach. Nothing special. Kalen DeBoer's got something going on at Washington. It played really, really well. Texas started off very slow against Texas San Antonio. We said it. Beware, Texas. Don't come off that impressive moral victory, which was a loss last week, and then take Texas San Antonio lightly. Look, Texas San Antonio were down 4 offensive tackles in this game. They played well early, but Texas took care of business. It could have extended. It could have been, oh, woe is me. They rebounded, did a really good job. USC jumped out on Fresno State. So could USC offense? They don't play a lot of good defensive teams. I'm curious to see how they do against those. But their offense is good. They can score against anybody. They look a lot like the Oklahoma teams that he's had there, that they can score offensively. Defensively, they're not very good. They came up with some stops. I credit them against Fresno State and Jake Hibner. But I still don't think that they're like challenging and will do something in the playoffs good down the road. Tennessee rolls against Akron. Not a whole lot to report there. Healthy, good performance, some clean up a little bit on special teams here and there, but they're getting ready for Florida. We're going to break that team down in detail. The surprise of the week, maybe Kansas State's performance against Tulane. Congrats to the Green Wave. Great job. Big fan of Chris Kleiman, big fan of what they're doing at Kansas State, but boy, you take away the run game and you see their vulnerabilities. They couldn't move the football. Great job there. And Florida, the Gators escaped. I'm going to tell you, again, they played a close to the best game against Utah and won it. Could have gone either way. This Florida team, if you can slow down the run game or if you can get a lead on them, they don't have a passing attack. Receivers are an issue, but the quarterback is an issue as it relates to a passing game. Yeah, they have to run the football and work the run game off of that and create spacing and coverage. If they can do that, they can be successful. I'm tipping my hand here, but I don't like their chances at all against Tennessee. We'll get into more of that this week and maybe get some thoughts as to what they would need to do to be successful against Tennessee. Hey, that's a quick whip around. I know I've left some things out. Some other things went on. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention. How did I do this? Let me mention again, Texas A&M against Miami. Didn't we tell you? Don't give up on A&M. Don't give up on a team. When you kick dirt on them, be wary. Now, this is not a Miami team that's as good as people think. I thought defensively they hung in there, but mainly A&M wasn't really good enough on offense. They were good enough to win this game. So they were better than they were against Appalachian State. And had they played this style with Max Johnson against Appalachian State, they win the game. They have a little bit more balance and they win it. They're still not really good as it relates to really good teams. This Miami team is a little fool's gold. The quarterback doesn't move very well, and he's inconsistent with his ball placement. And I thought Miami left a ton of plays on the field. They had a chance to win it. Not sold on this A&M team being good. They've got Arkansas next week. Again, I'll get into more of that, but they have not fared well against Arkansas, and nothing I saw in that win against Miami would indicate to me that A&M is going to get any easier for them coming up, as they do have Mississippi State and then Alabama on the road after Arkansas at home. We'll get into those games and the breakdowns a little bit more this week. So check it out. Remember, sign up for Off the Hook Sports YouTube channel. Sign up for the Landry Football Podcast Network. And check out LandryFootball.com. Get more detailed film room breakdowns and analysis from a coaching and scouting perspective on LandryFootball.com. Take advantage of the 50% offer deal in the football season sale. And then if you don't want to do that, try it out for a month. Try it out for 6 months. We've got plenty of options there for you. Appreciate you joining us. We'll be here all week breaking down the college and pro game. Talk to you next time, everybody.